Tonight shows a prisoner dishing out his own brand of justice to a convicted sex offender. The man had just been sentenced to 15 years in prison for sexually assaulting a 4-year-old girl. When police escorted him to the back of the courtroom, another inmate attacks, headbutting him a couple times before police break it up.
In the realm of justice, courtroom proceedings can often take unexpected turns. When it comes to crimes against children, the emotional stakes are even higher. The pain, anger, and desperation that parents feel can lead to shocking moments of violence. In this video, we'll explore 4 harrowing cases where parents attack child predators in the courtroom, delving into the emotional turmoil behind these reactions and the consequences that follow. The emotional toll of child predation. Child predation is a heinous crime that leaves deep emotional scars on victims and their families. When parents discover that their child has been victimized, they are thrust into a nightmare filled with betrayal, anger, and overwhelming helplessness. The trauma of such incidents shatters the illusion of safety, leaving parents feeling powerless in the face of their child's suffering. When these cases reach the courtroom, the atmosphere becomes charged with tension. Parents enter hoping for a fair trial, but often they feel that the justice system falls short of delivering the punishment they believe the perpetrator deserves. The realization that the offender might receive a lenient sentence only amplifies feelings of frustration and despair. In this emotionally charged environment, it is not uncommon for parents to lash out in moments of raw emotion. The courtroom, which is meant to be a space for justice, can transform into a volatile stage where grief and rage erupt. In this exploration, we will delve into 4 specific cases where parents, driven by their anguish and sense of justice, took matters into their own hands. These incidents not only highlight the profound emotional toll that child predation inflicts on families, but also raise important questions about the adequacy of the legal system in dealing with such heinous crimes. Join us as we examine these tragic stories and the desperate measures some parents have taken to seek justice for their children. Case 1. The outburst of a grieving father. Our first case takes us to a courtroom where a father confronted the man accused of abusing his young daughter. The atmosphere was thick with tension as the trial unfolded. The accused, a man in his 30s, sat with a smug expression, showing little remorse for the charges against him. His dismissive remarks about the allegations, calling them mere fantasies of a child, infuriated everyone present, especially the father, who was already reeling from the trauma of his daughter's experience. As the trial continued, the father listened in disbelief. Each word from the accused felt like a dagger to his heart, intensifying the already unbearable pain. The emotional burden of hearing his little girl's suffering dismissed as imaginary became too much to bear. In a moment of pure, unrestrained anger, the father sprang from his seat, charging at the accused with a primal scream, "You hurt my little girl." The courtroom erupted into chaos as deputies quickly intervened, rushing to restrain the father before he could reach his target. Gasps filled the room, and the judge called for order amid the turmoil. Some bystanders sympathized with the father, understanding the anguish that drove him to such an extreme reaction. However, others criticized his actions as reckless, arguing that this outburst set a dangerous precedent for courtroom behavior. After the incident, the father faced charges for contempt of court, adding to his already heavy emotional burden. In a subsequent emotional statement, he expressed deep regret for losing control, but maintained that the overwhelming pain of seeing his daughter suffer justified his actions. He described his feelings of helplessness in the face of the accused's nonchalance, saying it was as if he had been put on trial instead of the man who had harmed his child. The courtroom incident raised questions about the limits of parental grief and the lengths to which a parent might go to protect their child, reflecting the deep scars that such crimes leave on families. Case 2. A mother's vengeance. In our second case, we explore the story of a mother who had endured the unthinkable. Her son, only 6 years old, had been the victim of a predator who manipulated the trust of the family. When the trial commenced, emotions ran high. During the testimony, the accused was callous, laughing and smirking as he recounted the events. This demeanor sparked outrage in the mother. Fueled by anger and grief, she lunged at the defendant, shouting, "You're a monster. You don't deserve to breathe." The courtroom erupted into pandemonium as deputies intervened. In the aftermath, the mother was arrested and charged with assault. She later stated, "I wanted him to feel my pain, to understand what he did to my baby." While her actions were condemned, many people expressed sympathy for her emotional turmoil, claiming it was merely a misunderstanding. This dismissal of the trauma caused by his actions pushed the father over the edge. He shouted, "You destroyed her life. How can you say that?" In a flash of fury, the father charged at the man, knocking over chairs and sending the courtroom into a frenzy. Deputies struggled to contain the situation, and the judge called for a recess. Later, the father was taken into custody and faced charges for his outburst. He expressed remorse, stating, "I never wanted to hurt anyone. I just wanted him to know how he made my daughter feel." The incident highlighted the desperation that many parents feel when faced with the consequences of child predation. Case 4. The agonizing decision. Our final case involves a mother who faced the man accused of exploiting her young child. During the trial, the accused attempted to manipulate the narrative, claiming he was innocent and that the child had fabricated the allegations. This defense pushed the mother to her breaking point. Overcome with emotion, she screamed, "You think you're innocent? You're a sick liar." She then lunged at the defendant, causing a chaotic scene as courtroom personnel rushed to separate them. In the aftermath of her actions, the mother was charged with contempt of court. She later explained, "I lost control. How could he lie about something so terrible? I wanted him to feel the weight of his actions and to know the pain he caused my child." The trial continued, but the emotional weight of the mother's outburst lingered in the air. It served as a stark reminder of the intense emotions surrounding cases of child predation and the toll it takes on families. The aftermath and reflection. The aftermath of these courtroom outbursts reveals a complex emotional landscape. Parents, fueled by love and protectiveness, often find themselves in situations that lead to regret and consequences that they never anticipated. Following their actions, each parent faced legal repercussions. While some felt remorse, others remained steadfast in their belief that their actions were justified. These moments of violence reflect the intense emotions surrounding child predation cases and the desperation parents feel when confronted with the unimaginable. In discussing these incidents, it's important to recognize the broader implications. Courtroom violence can distract from the pursuit of justice, creating a chaotic environment that can impact the proceedings. Thank you for joining us as we explored these difficult but important stories. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the impact of crime on families and communities. Until next time, stay safe and vigilant.